Why do you get death threats? Because of the talk about. I talk about my life, and there's been a lot of people in my life. So when I'm talking about my life, I'm talking about a lot of people. Then people get upset. It's my life. Talk about whatever I want. I don't see anyone helping me who I'm talking about. They've never helped me. I don't see anyone I speak about being your mum, your dad, your uncle that's worked all her life, your sister who's in college. You don't hear me writing any decent, law-abiding citizen off from the city of Liverpool. You've heard me writing them dirty, dying dealers, the scumbags that are destroying our communities in the city of Liverpool. I feel I've got a right to do so. And I don't give a what anyone out of the city of Liverpool thinks about it. Don't give two f***s. I've spoke about loads of people in the last 6 years that weren't even in life. They came into my life. Does that make sense? So when I'm on this path, I'm speaking about my past life. Nothing's really happened in the present. You know, I've got out of jail. I'm speaking about the past. This all happened in my presence. I'm just a rehabilitated kid trying to get on with his life. Screaming this positive message, all of a sudden I started getting attacked by certain people. It is what it is. They want me to retaliate. I'm not retaliating. They're taking that as a way of weakness, when in reality it was a strength. I didn't want to get lifed off. I didn't want to go out and deal with one of these buttes and get myself a 35 wreck. That's exactly what they wanted me to do. I've learned. You know, I ran out like a madman in 2004. What happened? Some kid got put in the picture, shot dead. Month later, jail. Do you think I'm going to be out of prison and do the same with the same sour that was there in 2000 doing the same with me? Never, mate. So, I weren't screaming about the Kinahans. I weren't screaming about the Farleys. I weren't screaming about all these. It's when they started harassing me a few years ago, I started speaking about them. If they didn't come into my life, they wouldn't have got spoke about. There's loads of lads in the city of Liverpool now who are bang at it. And I know them from years ago. They've not said nothing about me. They've not come out and tried to write me off like I'm something wrong. And guess what? They haven't tapped into my life. They haven't been spoken about. I've got lads who's been in my life consistent, and I don't speak about them. They're not speaking about me. That's the way I am. You want to speak about me? Make sure you can brave. When you're from Liverpool and you've been raised in the criminal world, Care at 13, YOY system all your life, con system all your life, gang banging all your life, deep. So when I go to jail, the people I was around went on to run the city later. That's how deep I was. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I know what they're talking about. I know exactly what they're talking about when it comes to Liverpool crime and who's who and what's what and where it goes and where it comes from. There is not one person from the city of Liverpool now sat in prison on the back of anything I've said or done. You can't find them, or you're going to come with the Willie Moore shout. He was the snitch in that situation, not me. So what else is there to come at me with? Even now, is there anyone sat in jail because of me? No. Anything I've spoke on social media, can it be used in any sort of case as evidence or anything? No. So you keep my name out your mouth and I'll keep your name out of my mouth. And that's the way it's always been. When I'm speaking about dirty organised crime groups and dealers, if you want to take that personal, mate, you can. But I'm telling you, take it personal, but don't scream and shout about me, because I'll make you personal. I'll scream about you, your family, your birds, your business, your cars, everything. I'll shame you and not give two about a threat to life warning. Do you understand? It's all about protecting the communities of Liverpool, people that are from Liverpool. Some of you need to be taking a leaf out of my book, because if you haven't seen children being murdered in your city, you will do. Okay? If you haven't seen kids being harmed very, very bad in your little town or your little community, you will do. The way it goes with these rats, they don't give two. They are breaking families all over the place in the city of Liverpool through violence and addiction. Addiction in Liverpool, horrendous. You've got, in Liverpool, I done a little ballpark figure the other day, and you've got about 500,000, no, not 500,000, 250,000 children born with addictions in Liverpool. And they're still coming. Just think about that for a minute. Just for a little minute. You've got children born with addictions. You see that mum and dad who are together now with this kid who's got an addiction because of mum and dad. This kid with addiction is going to rip them two to pieces. They won't be together in a couple of years because this kid's addiction. And it's them parents that done it to the kid. And use birds that are on the devil dust every so often. Don't take the risk. You know, the majority of the substances that you're taking now are synthetic. You don't know it, but they are synthetic. You know, they're even bashing the real with synthetic now. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you don't even know it. And the side effects and the repercussions of you taking them substances that are made in a laboratory instead of derived from a plant or a seed, if you like. They're not natural. They're not natural side effects, if you understand what I'm saying. You know, they're mad side, they're like chemical side effects. Does that make sense? You going out with your mates on a Saturday night, some of you girls are 15. You're not even going to nightclubs. You're sitting in some park and getting in a mess and going home. You are risking a life of pure trauma if you're dabbling now. I keep on going back to the situation, mate, when all these were cancelling me out. You know, I can't go near my nieces or my nephews. They're getting hated because they're my relatives. Do you understand? They're getting targeted because they're my relatives. I had to cut them out so they couldn't be hurt. Do you understand? So I went speaking to them. And one night, in this flat in L5 where I used to live, about 3:30 in the morning. No, it might have been about 1:30 in the morning. My door starts getting banged out of, my phone starts going off its cake, ringing. Now my older brother unlived himself 6 months before I got out of custody, or like 8 months before I got out of custody. And he had a beautiful daughter, second eldest, and she was tall, beautiful young girl. Do you understand what I'm saying? Not just saying it because she's a G. All the G's are beautiful, to be honest. So the door's getting banged, my phone's going off its cake. Ferris's bird, Lisa Weewell, used to be mates with her years ago. She's at the door with my niece, Billy's second eldest, and she's in a mess. And she's sitting, I haven't spoken to her for ages, you know, because I've been avoiding them because of the madness with her ma and all this that's gone on. So she just popped up out the blue at my door. banging, crying with Lisa Whewell and other people. And she's in a mess, she's breaking down. She'd been sat in Ferris's and just couldn't regain control of herself, so they brought her to me. She was 13. The dealers in Stanley Park, local lads, have been given a kettle, coke and other substances, and having the wicked way with her. One of them. These things, you know, Billy killing himself as a addict. You know, me nieces and nephews getting dealers. All this just made me hate dealers more and more and more. And everyone that peddles it. So you've got girls, and I'm talking 6 years ago, 8 years ago this was happening. She was 13, 14. So I know from first-hand experiences that when your girls are coming out of the up academies that they've started making the kids act like Americans now. When your kids are coming out of them academies on a Friday night and they're coming home to get changed and they're going out dead early Friday, Thursday and that, they're not in a rush, are they? Not in a rush Wednesday, Thursdays and that, are they? They're going in, taking time, getting changed, little scram, bit of money off you out. Friday, shit's changed. Like today, school broke up on Friday gone, your kids were out early in the local parks, and this is what they do: drink. And whilst they're in them local parks as 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds drinking lagers and whatever they can get their hands on, basically, there's groups of them there. In the same park, you've got your 19 and 18 and 17-year-old dealing scumbags at the end of the road, all in the park at the same time. Some of our nieces and our daughters and that, you know, of a Friday night, they're going out your door and they're looking 20. They're dressing, you know, older than what they are. The lads in the park know that they're not that old, but the way they're dressing is attracting these older lads. Is that making sense to you? These know these schoolgirls because they see them every evening still in uniforms. They know quite well. You're on it? But the way they dress now on this night, Friday night, they're all drunk, they're all a bit tipsy. You know, shit's happening here now. Some of them girls are smoking weed already. 13, 14, 15, they're already smoking weed on a Friday as they're drinking. That's the weed dealer. That weed dealer, like every single weed dealer on your streets these days, they sell white, they sell coke, they sell the devil dust. And this weed dealer sees that young girl as a customer. And the earlier he can get her on the quicker he's got a new customer. Is this making sense? Now, once this girl's had a little sniff, she's basically open for major abuse. Drink, sniff, loose, hasn't got a clue how to stop anything or anyone from doing anything. But because there's a few of them doing it, they think it's, oh, we're all doing it, it's exciting. You know, these girls are losing their preciousness to dirty scumbags because they're giving them drinking. And these scumbags are going in on 15, 16-year-old girls behind everyone's back, no one knows. Do you understand? When your girl's going to Stanley Park, Sefton Park, Wavertree Technology Park, of a Friday night, they're drinking and taking, and your girl's 15 and nice. Is she putting extra makeup on it when she's going out, trying to make herself look more nicer? She's probably got a dirty dealer all over her. And I'm not lying, I'm not trying to put the shop here. I'm telling you how it is with the girls in Liverpool. Dealers who are older, a lot older, are preying on the kids in Liverpool, whether they're boys or girls, because them dealers these days, you know, they bath both ways. Years ago when we were growing up, the men were a threat to girls, never to boys. Do you understand? When we were growing up, you'd had lads round us that were a threat to girls, and the manhandle girls, horrible. But it was always the men versus the girls in a mad way. These days, it's not that dynamics no more. You know, the men are going for girls and the men are going for boys because they're that way inclined. So when you've got a 19-year-old, which there's loads of them these days, you can't get away from it. The British, you've got to accept them as they are. Do you understand what I'm saying? But the point I'm making is, just like that heterosexual male will prey on that girl over there, that heterosexual male will prey on that boy over there. That's the point I'm making. And if he gives that boy drinking, he'll do exactly the same as the heterosexual man would do to the girl with drinking. Same. The man is more predatory. Do you understand? More. I mean, the man like the man that's not a heterosexual is more predator-like in his approach to things. Do you understand what I'm saying by that? Do you understand what I mean by that? You know, the knockback is harsher for the shirt lifter than what it is for, you know, the skirt lifter. Does that make sense? Let's move along. It's negative. I only got on that point when you started screaming about drug dealers, why this, why that. I'm telling you, there's quite a few things in my life that made me switch that thing towards dealing and all that. You know, I look at me two brothers who developed addictions. I look at my older brother that unlied himself, and I put it all down to the downfall of coke. You know, the come downs. You could see them getting worse. He was handling them. The longer his addiction went on, the come downs were getting deeper, longer and harder for him to deal with. And it's happening with loads, isn't it? There's loads of people on the devil dust. And I encourage all you young girls and young lads, if you're here listening, to not even try it. And if you've got a so-called mate, if you've got a friend, this is what they're calling themselves, and these friends are encouraging you, just have a try. If you don't like it, you don't need to have it again. That is not a friend. Normally, the people that are encouraging you to take it have been on it for a few years. Do you understand what I'm saying? Even if it's you and your mate for the first time having it together, the person that's encouraged you to have it together for your first times has been on it for a couple of years, and they know the boat you're about to go through. They know how much this is going to impact on everything in your life. Why? Because they've just experienced it for 3 years. They know exactly what's going to happen for you in the next 3 years, and it happens to everyone. Do you understand? It's like, you know, they know they're leading you into, suck them off. They're leading you into a mess, and no friend leads you into a mess. No friend leads you to death, basically. And that's what an addiction is. It's a slow death. You ask anyone with it, it's a slow death every day.